Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, I guess we're going over the new Divine Runes archetype. I literally came downstairs to record a video on the new OTS pack reveals. I might just do that tomorrow because this takes precedence. We got brand new cards and it's a whole new archetype. It is hype, okay? Let's just get into this. We got a bunch of cards, of course, and I don't want this video to be too damn long because sometimes I ramble too much. Anyway, let's get into this thing. Starting off here, we have, of course, Spring of the Divine Rune. We start with a field spell. No monsters, apparently, yet. Here we go. All right, you can activate one Divine Rune quick play spell from your hand during your opponent's turn. Or, I'm sorry, you can activate Divine Rune quick play spells in general from your hand during your opponent's turn. I'm assuming we might have ways to search them on the opponent's turn. Okay, interesting. Once per turn, if you activate a Divine Rune Quick Play spell, you can target up to 3 Divine Rune Quick Play spells in your grave, place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw that many cards. So you have to have already have 3 in the grave, so I'm hoping that they rotate into each other pretty well. Interesting, interesting start. We'll come back to this card. Next up here, we have Deceit of the Divine Rune. This is a continuous spell. You can only control one of it at a time, and each time a quick play spell card is activated, banish the top card of your opponent's deck. This one's, it's funny. Is this what this deck's gonna be? Is it almost gonna be like a mill strategy? Because that's pretty good. Like, mill strategies are really have been outdated for a long time because a lot of decks get value out of getting their stuff milled, and if you can't literally mill their whole deck in one turn, they kind of just get a ton of value from their stuff being sent to grave. Like, imagine like trying to play mill, but you can't kill them in one turn, and they're on Phantom Knights. Like, they just get so much value, it's insane. But interesting. Okay, moving on, we actually get into these quick play spells here. Point of the Divine Rune. Also, both these are based on quick play spells. I'm getting quick play spell vibes. Maybe we're going to try and splash other quick play spells in here. This is Point of the Divine Rune. Quick play spell. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. Interesting. Add one Divine Rune card from deck to hand except for itself, then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So I think this is just like a straight up mill strategy. Special summon a Divine Rune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. Okay, now we're cooking. Either one. Okay, seems pretty good either way. Both these effects are good. As long as you don't need that next battle phase, this card seems like a pretty good engine card. Nice. Next up, we have Divine Rune of the Brilliant Flame. Another quick play. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects, and then skip your next battle phase after it resolves. Okay, so if they're all locking you out of your next battle phase, it's not like they stack on. You're just locked out of your 4 next battle phases. They're locking you out of the same next battle phase, so you only really miss one, which is pretty good. Okay, pick one of these effects. Here we go. Target one opponent's special summoned monster, destroy it, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. This card is generically kind of spicy. It locks you out of your next battle phase, but still interesting. Special summon one Divine Rune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster. Are they all going to have that ability? That's pretty cool. Okay, so if this isn't going to be like a full-on mill strategy, maybe it becomes almost like Trickstar Reincarnation, where like Trickstars weren't like a full-on mill deck. You could have played them that way, but I don't think that was ideal. No, you played them more as a burn strategy. But like maybe there's the whole hope is that like a lot of these decks nowadays are playing bricks, right? Like what if you're playing against a Brave deck and your turn 1 with this deck banishes the top 5, 6 cards of their deck, and you end up hitting like Fateful Adventure in as part of the Brave engine, right? Or I don't know, I'm thinking like Phantom Knights. You hit whatever crucial card they have. I guess they can kind of play with a lot of different stuff. But you know what I mean. Maybe you banish the Scythe. Not, I guess going first, not a huge deal. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of decks nowadays have to play some bricks. Maybe you're playing against a deck that plays Gamma and you just banish the driver. Okay, yeah, pretty good. Very interesting. Okay, and we have to see these X-Check monsters, of course, as well. Divine Rune of Destruction. You can only activate one card of this card's name per turn. Skip your next battle phase, but pick one of these effects. The first effect reads, target one spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish the top 4 cards of their deck. Or special summon Divine Rune from the from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. Yo, this stuff seems really generic. That's one thing I haven't mentioned so far. Every single one of these cards is crazy generic. Either beam out a monster, which if they don't have restrictions on them, that's crazy, or pop a back row and banish 4 off the top. This may be the new best MST we've ever seen. Next up here, we have Divine Rune of Dispel. If your opponent adds a card or cards from the deck to the hand except by drawing them, or except during the draw phase, discard a random card from their hand and banish 2. That one's okay. It's a trigger effect, so it's not as good. It can't just activate whenever, but a lot of decks search, so being able to punish somebody for searching is cool. And then of course the same second effect there. Weird artwork, a lot of cool, like almost isekai-esque artwork, kind of like Brave, reminding me of Brave artwork wise. Divine Rune of the Freezing Curse. Activate one of these, skip your next battle phase. Target one effect monster your opponent controls. Negate its effects until the end of the turn, then banish the top 3 cards of their deck. It's just fucking like a chalice with the added benefit of banishing 3 off the top, and it has the versatility that can also just beam out a monster. These cards are so interesting. Is losing your battle phase enough to make these cards good? Maybe, honestly. Okay, we're still moving on with these. Geez, there's so many. Okay, target one face-up monster on the field, apply this effect to it, then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Once applied this turn, that monster cannot attack. Also, the next time it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. Makes a monster unable to attack, but it can't be destroyed the next time. That one's super mediocre. And then it will also summon a Divine Rune monster from extra. Activate one of these effects, then skip your battle phase. Your opponent draws 1 card, then you banish the top 4 cards of their deck. Now this one is just more melee, right? You're clearing out 5 cards from your opponent's deck, but they are getting a card to hand. Okay, this one, now we're getting a little cheeky here. Looks like we have 2 extract monsters. All right, one sec. All right, we have Divine Rune of the Raging Storm. Banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of cards they control. Again, mediocre. These are fine. So like easily this could end up being like a mill deck if you just want to go all in hard on the strategy, but these are all once per turn. And they don't really rotate into each other unless the extract monsters do that. Just kind of just this guy. This one searches. So I guess this one banishes 1 from your opponent's deck, and then you get another one that can potentially continue on with that. All right, let's read the monsters. It's going to be very, very important. So this is Moonin, Wings of the Divine Rune. It's a level 3 light fairy fusion. 2 Divine Rune monsters are the material. 0 attack, 2000 defense. So the battle phase for this card doesn't even matter anyway. If this card is special summoned with the extract, you can discard a card to add a Divine Rune continuous spell. Okay, so this only searches that first continuous spell we saw, where every time one of these Divine Rune cards is activated, you get to banish a card off the top of your opponent's deck. Interesting. Second effect: when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Divine Rune card or cards and or set card or cards you control, quick effect: banish this card, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Okay, only protects you from targeting effects, but sure. I mean, if you're playing a back row strategy that's trying to mill your opponent out, play a stun control game to run them out of resources, this does give you a negate for anything that's, you know, Twin Twister-esque kind of stuff, so fine. And then once per turn, during each end phase, gain 1,000. Whatever, also cool. These also work with instant fusion, so that's also interesting to know. This one's interesting. It does give you a free +1, and it's technically a negate as well, but a mediocre one. Okay, here we go. If this card is special summoned, this is Giri, Fangs of the Divine Rune. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target one non-quick play Divine Rune spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So that's, right now that's either the field spell or the continuous spell, and I don't think any others. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects. And then when this card's destroyed by battle, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. All right, I mean, the monsters aren't crazy, but like, because all these cards are splashable, you can just like freely turbo these out. This is just all these become just like fairy extenders. This card be or like a beast extender, maybe for Tri-Brigade type combos. Really interesting. All these will not make the monster able to be summoned back though, which is interesting to note, but still super interesting. All of them are like e-tellies from the extra deck at least, so you don't even have to play bricks in the main. With some added utility, I'm very curious if these will be worth. Locking on the battle phase means you can't just end the duel on the next turn. It means you do have to give your opponent another turn, but for, you know, control of the duel, maybe it's worth having cards this strong. Very, very curious. All right. Very cool. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think here? The only real restriction is losing your next battle phase. There's no restriction as far as you can't do this the same time you activate this or anything. So any deck can theoretically try to splash some of these cards as an engine. Very, very, very interesting. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what other weird applications you might see for this deck. I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts on that. But I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff from me down the line, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.